Christians, I thought your God was a God of order. I thought he was a God of order. The reason why I say that is because of these types of comments that I seem to get quite often about the Euphrates River. Is the Euphrates River going through yet another cycle of drying up, as it had done during the time frame of Sargon, as it had done during the time frame of the Greeks? Yes, it is going through another time frame where it is drying up. Is it by man? Is it by nature? It's a combination of the two. Does it really matter to Christians? It really don't. But you know what should matter to Christians? The order. The order. You claim that your God is a God of order. Okay. So if he's a God of order, he gave out 6 seals that were supposed to occur before we get to your deity and his drying of the Euphrates. Now, as part of those 6 seals that are supposed to be broken, one of those seals say that when it's broken, a group of angels will come down and park themselves on the banks of the Euphrates River, and then 1/3 of the population will then die because of that. Now, here's what's interesting about that. There has not been a time in man's history when 1/3 of the world's population has died. Now, I know what you're going to do. You're going to say, well, during the Black Plague, 70%, if not 90% of Europe was destroyed. And I'm sure that could represent 1/3 of the population. But it doesn't. Now, if you were to look at these numbers right here, it clearly shows you that it's estimated that the world population was around 500 million during the time frame of the Black Death when it went across Europe. In Europe, they estimate at max it killed about 75 million people. Now, I know 75 million is a lot of people, but 75 million, it is not 1/3 of 500 million people. You need a couple, 10, 20 million, 30 million more people in order to get there. So that just takes your whole claim and throws it out the window, because now you got to do that part first. You also got to do the parts about the asteroid Wormwood hitting first. You also got to turn all the rivers and all the oceans into blood first. You got a lot of other things that you got to do first before your Euphrates dries up and the 3 kings of the east are able to wage war against God's children at the Battle of Armageddon before you get there. So you got a lot more destructive things that has to happen. You got to see the one world government, the one world religion. You got to see the Antichrist rise, the Antichrist get killed, rise up in 3 days from a head injury. Then you got to see the Antichrist put a statue and say everybody got to worship that statue before all of this happened. Now, if your God is not a God of order, then just admit that he's not a God of order. And if he's not a God of order, then that kind of goes against what he says in other parts of his book, saying that he's a God of order. So y'all like to just grasp on the straws like you want to. It sounds like y'all got an itchy mind and itchy ear instead of people like myself having one, because y'all just all kind of out of order and just want this thing to happen because you want to validate that your religion is true. But unfortunately, it's just not. But you go on and have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.